What's going on at Liverpool and where's it going to go from here?
I have no idea, to be honest, mate. We're having a bit of a nightmare at the minute. I don't really know. We've started the season really slow compared to last season. I don't really want fans on Klopp's back. He's the best manager we've had in my lifetime, certainly. And I don't want fans on his back because what's the alternative? Other than Klopp, what is the alternative? Do you know what I mean?
Well, surely, Luke, it would be ridiculous. And even as a Manchester United fan, it would be. There's surely not Liverpool fans questioning Klopp. I don't get that. Is that going on? Should that be going on? Why would that be going on?
No. I think it's more in the media. I think you've got certain media channels that's putting pressure on Klopp, and I think it's portraying that across the whole floor. Then, and I think, like I say, I know Klopp listens to talkSPORT, and he probably gets on his back a little bit, and we don't want that because, like I say, he's the best manager we've had since, like I say, in my lifetime. So, what's the alternative? I don't really know what the problem is at Liverpool at the minute. Maybe, we've had a few injuries, we've had this and that, but we probably could have done a little bit more in the transfer window, but what else can you do?
I don't know, Luke. Thanks for starting off the calls, though, Luke. Really appreciate that. Liverpool fans, talk to me. As a United fan, I like to see you suffer, but, we can all be pragmatic. United have been suffering for a decade. I look at Liverpool and I think you've got a manager there that, as a United fan, I never thought I was going to see you win the league title again. He's rebuilt that football club. He's delivered a title. He's delivered a Champions League. But there is something called the 7-year itch with Klopp. Apparently, he was 7 years at Mainz and he left. 7 years at Dortmund and he left. How long has he been at Liverpool? 7 years. The one thing that might be an issue for Liverpool fans, and maybe you want to talk about that on the show tonight, is the Klopp reign coming towards an end? Is the energy going? Is the atmosphere running out? Is there a danger that at some point Klopp and Liverpool might just decide to part ways? Maybe that's a thing. But I don't think we'll ever see Liverpool fans turning on Klopp. I can't see that. We've got Naz, who's a Liverpool fan. Disappointing result, Naz. What have you got to tell us?
For me, the lack of a world-class midfielder not being added really has affected us. Players like Hendo, Thiago, they're coming to an end of a cycle. And you can see, against Brighton, young, energetic team, with lots of pace. And we struggled even after we took the lead, I was worried about our defence being able to hang on for the draw. It was going up too much, playing too open football when we should have been trying to close the game off.
Yeah, I mean, Naz, one thing I would observe, and I just wanted to get your opinion on this. I've watched Liverpool quite a few times this season. I really do think that the midfield is where you should have invested in the summer. I think that you've got good midfielders, but I think they're getting there's not a lot of rotation there. And then in general, the Liverpool team just looks like it's running 30% less. The intensity, the press. Normally you swallow teams up like Brighton in the first half an hour at Anfield, and yet you were 2-0 down. They don't seem to be as energetic or as hungry. Is that because of last season being so hard, or what do you think that's all about?
Yeah, I think not refreshing enough. Just bringing in Nunes, letting Mane go, and even Origi go, who could turn up for you every now and then. Losing those players and just bringing Nunes in and not adding to the midfield definitely has weakened us.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in, Naz. Appreciate that. We are live on YouTube as well. El Salvador on YouTube is saying that Liverpool have peaked. They've peaked. I don't know whether they've peaked. It reminds me of, I try and forget the COVID football with no fans in the ground. And I know Liverpool lost their unbeaten run at Anfield there, but I always felt that was a fake season anyway. I was grateful for it, but Man United went unbeaten with Solskjaer away from home. It just wasn't real football, really, was it? But that was a bad season for Liverpool, and they recovered at the end and scraped into top four. I just think that the way Liverpool play under Klopp, it is so intense, and I wonder whether they actually can do that season to season, mentally and physically. Can you go for it? And let's not forget, Liverpool last season played every physical game possible. They got to the final of every cup competition, and obviously he played 38 Premier League games. So I know they get a break in the summer, but 2 months, it can be a short break when you've had a hard season. And I know as well, I don't know what people's thoughts are on this. I've said this about Ronaldo at Manchester United. Could it be the same with Van Dijk? Is it playing on people's heads that there's a World Cup coming up in a month's time? And if you pull your hamstring or you do your groin now, you're going to miss a World Cup that comes around every 4 years. Are players playing mentally and physically at their limits, knowing that there's a World Cup coming up? Is that impacting on some players as well? But there's definitely an issue with Liverpool. I'm convinced of that. Tuchel's going to replace Klopp like he did at Dortmund, says Anthony on YouTube. And look, there was somebody in there on YouTube as well saying they think Klopp will be gone by Christmas. Well, he certainly won't get the sack, and I don't think he will be gone by Christmas, but it could be the beginning of the end. I think, are we being honest when we say that Liverpool, if Klopp is going to stay, is going to have to do what Sir Alex did, rebuild that Liverpool side? And do they have the appetite to do that? We'll have to wait and see.